I'm Rob Licuria at Gold Debbie here with the one and only Gary Oldman. Gary, if you think back to season 4, Jackson Lamb is as disheveled as ever, but there's still so much going on underneath. And I just wonder, when you're coming back to that kind of character, or that character in particular, does it take long for you to get back into that mindset so that you can play him again?
No, he's pretty much, uh, it's all in cement now. it's, it's, I've sort of spent enough time with the character and of course, and with the other, with the other players that we're pretty in the groove now with our game. And then it's just a case of, adapting and working with the new scenario that obviously season 4 presents.
And then, so given that he carries so much emotional baggage that that's just sitting under that sarcasm and facetiousness that we love about him, are there aspects of Jackson that you've come to understand differently after playing him for 4 years?
To be very honest with you, I haven't worked that much away from really the books and scripts. I mean, as the seasons go on, and sort of incrementally more is revealed of Jackson, you as an actor are forming a more complete picture of him. And then, of course, we have 5, and then that reveals and that pulls back another sort of layer of the onion to his character, and really why he is the way he is. I think it's in part tradecraft. It's spycraft. It also works in a way as a sort of a defense mechanism that you're not going to really, he's not going to let you in, and you're not going to really get to know him. And that really is part of his skill also, because by doing that, he has an edge over you. We've said it before, it's people are sort of around him are playing checkers, and Jackson Lamb is playing chess. So I think he uses that as a it gives him, he can see things at sort of 30,000 feet, get an overview of the situation.
Speaking of the playing chess, I what I love most about this show, I mean, there's a lot of things, but there's so much going on with Jackson under the surface, behind your eyes, and various facial expressions, slight movement, non-verbal, even though ironically, what we love about this show is the dialogue. But when you're doing that kind of performance in silence without the word, but more the physicality, is that dictated by the writing? Is that organic, that just happens on set? Or is that something that's really intentional that you've thought through?
A lot of it is taken really from the material. If you've got, and we do have very, very good material. So if the source material is good, then that dictates what you do. It's a sort of a psychological and an emotional map that you follow. That when you come up against bad writing, that's when you feel that you're working too hard for it. If you're breaking a sweat, then you know that you're not in the hands of a very good writer. It's a joy to speak this stuff and to navigate both physically and psychologically through the world of these people and this character. But I don't sort of work out necessarily what I'm going to do. I wait to really get there, rehearse, see what the other actors are doing, and then and then you follow instinct and intuition.
Do you ever get any input in the way he's written, or is it you just take it on the page and you just perform it?
Oh no, we're very familiar with these people now, with these characters. We had Will Smith, the head writer on the show, who has adapted the material. And not only is Will very familiar with the books, I mean, very familiar with them. He's familiar with us as actors and what we're doing with the characters. So he's not only taking his cues from the written material, but he's also writing for individual actors. And now, and we contribute. We add lines here and there, and sometimes occasionally we'll dismantle and rethink a scene on the day, on the fly. So there's lots of none of it is set with, when you're working with really good material. It's any actor would tell you that's a real bonus.
Absolutely. Like this, when I'm watching the show, it actually is quite complex the way each scene is blocked out, shot, written, performed, edited. It's some of it is so cinematic, and yet it is also very straightforward. We're looking at a bunch of spooks who have been cast to the side, and half of them don't want to be there. And Lamb's got the shit with them all, but he still cares about them. And that dynamic is what we really, really love about the show, and the dialogue between the characters. And then I always wonder, after one of those cracker scenes where Lamb has eviscerated his colleagues, do you guys break on set and just laugh? I mean, it's surely you do.
Yeah, we often laugh. Actually, well, yeah, while we're doing it, we have to we crack up and then do retakes. Yeah, it's been an extraordinary show to work on. Not only because the material is very good, and obviously the character is just a dream. But it's been really made all the more special because of the people working on the show, and that is really across the board, from makeup, costume, DP, camera operator, clapper loader, although they're not really clapper loaders anymore, but through costume and the actors, and now very much a lot of familiarity with us all. And we love, I certainly love regrouping after a break and then getting back and seeing everyone. So there's a very, very easy, the set is very easy to work on in that respect. Just an incredible bunch of people. And that really has made it, I think, one of the highlights of my career.
I mean, that's saying something, given your list of credits and your past work. I want to talk a bit about season 4 if we go back. I appreciate you just finished production on season 5, and so we've got to go back a bit in time to think about shooting season 4. But there's so many highlights, and I was going to ask you, what was there any particular scene? But I want to tell you one scene that I thought just a knockout for you, if you don't mind me saying, and that is in the finale when Lamb discovers Badge Sam's body. The whole way that was shot and performed, we don't see Sam until the end. We don't know for sure that he's dead. And then Lamb is clearly upset, but so methodical. He does what he's got to do. And then at the very end, we see Sam's dead body, and then Lamb takes the booze, because that would be such a waste to leave the booze there. And it was just phenomenal. I love that scene. I'm just wondering if you can recall filming that scene in particular, because it's just another example of Lamb always doing stuff under the surface because he doesn't want to let on, doesn't want to give any clues away. And I just love that about him.
That is very much in the it's very much in the writing. That scene, as it's presented, was on the page. Uh, but it was Adam Randall, the director. It was Adam's inspiration to shoot it all in one. So I think I come in the door, then I go over to the telephone, and there's a message, and then I come around. Then we reveal Sam, and you register the sadness, the sort of anger with Lamb, and then he heads to the door, and then there's a sort of afterthought, and then the camera picking up the whiskey, which I then use, against the. I throw it at the head of the that nasty Frenchman, that Terminator.
Yeah, the robot. My God, what a great performance! But geez, that was terrifying. That guy.
Previous scene to that is Sam coming back up into the office, and it's similar. It's an echo of, or a taste of what's to come. They are composed similarly, and that again is credit to Adam, who's is a director who has a wonderful eye, also a wonderful ear, with these soundscape and music choices. But there again, I think what you're doing as a viewer, you're connecting to that as well. How Adam shows the world, and that's camera, lighting, actor, director, all working with a flow and a point of view,
a real point of view. And so that's why I say to people, this show is really much more complex than it first appears. Like, it's not too flashy, but if you actually pay attention, it's very flashy. It is so well made. And of the camera angles, the way it's edited and shot, all the performances of the cast, that's the appeal, I think, to me. I've got another theory that I want to throw at you, but I'm just wondering before I do, what do you think the real appeal of this show is? Because it keeps getting more and more popular. Thankfully, people are finally catching up. I think season 3 was when it really hit the zeitgeist, so to speak. What do you think the appeal of this show is fundamentally?
There's a lot of people involved that come together that say, we have a standard, and the audience are expecting something from us, and we cannot disappoint. That's part of the reason why we do 6 and then 6 episodes with a short break, and then we do another 6, because who wants to invest their time in characters in a show and then wait 2 or 3 years for it to come back? So we're very conscious of making the next one as good, if not better. So that's I think that's the first thing, that audiences come back to the show and they're not disappointed. We're so used to glamour and the world of James Bond and tuxedos, martinis and casinos, that I think the appeal of it is it's these very sort of dysfunctional and often ordinary people who have to deal with all the stuff in their life, who go to the laundrette, who might have to make their car payments, have problems in their relationships, and are dealing with that on a mortgage or what, they're dealing with all the problems that we sort of all deal with. except that they do this sort of, they're ordinary people who do this sort of extraordinary thing for a living. And I think that people, that's a part of its appeal, that it's a spy show, but they are the everyman. And of course, some of the things that come out of Jackson Lamb's mouth, I think maybe secretly we watch the show and think, we may have in our time had a bullying, horrible boss, or dealing with something. And you think sometimes, I wish I could have a comeback like that. Yeah. Someone, he doesn't give a flying monkeys, you see.
I love that. Don't we just love that?
And he's seen it all and can't truck with the bureaucratic, sort of the side of it all, of the park and all of that crap. He's been there, seen it, and so he has no time for it. I mean, I think the kindest thing that Jackson can do is make life so miserable for the people that work for him, is that they get out of the game. They don't want to end up like him. I think that's probably the kindest thing that he can do. And yet, as you say, for all of his rough edges and bullying, and he's incredibly loyal and would take a bullet for them.
When you watch mob shows about the mob or organized crime, it's sometimes aspirational because people are like, I wish I could take power into my own hands and get justice. The same goes for spy shows. We love it because we see these people who are really competent, like they're just razor sharp, they're meticulous. And in this world that we live in, we deal with a lot of really dumb, incompetent people, especially in leadership. And I just feel like we watch spy shows for that. And you know what I'm talking about. We won't name names, but it's like Slow Horses undercuts that because these are they're all a shambles, they're messy, but they're really not. They're actually incredibly sharp, especially Lamb. And so I kind of see it as it undercuts it, then it undercuts it again. And that's the beauty of Slow Horses. It's so smart. That's my view.
I think you make me think of a line. Actually, there's one line from I'm not giving anything away. There's a line in season 5, and someone says to Lamb, you'll be kicked out for this, and he says, we've already been kicked out.
It's true. Okay. So yeah, he doesn't care.
No, I think it's nice to see. Do they come good at the end? I mean, you have to remember also that these are not necessarily terrible agents, but you make one mistake and so they may be very, very competent in one particular area. I mean, take Ho, for instance.
Yeah.
So he is a computer wizard.
Yeah.
He's just obnoxious.
Yeah, he's such an asshole, but he's so good.
But, and so Lamb knows the value there and is happy to put up with all the other stuff because when it hits the fan, he knows that Ho can deliver and has a very odd relationship in a way with River. It's part paternal. He recognizes maybe himself in River. For River to be a really good agent, he's got to get rid of the ego. And that's, I think, what Lamb is chipping away at. There are no ceremonies. There are no medals. You do something heroic and no one will ever know it's not about it's not about look at me and the ego. And I think that he's River has ego and is full of himself. So I think that Lamb over the course of time believes he could be a very, very good agent, yet he's got to let go of that ego. So there's a method in his madness. Be cruel to be kind,
And that's what he's doing. And that's, we've all been with people like that. We've all worked with people like that. And I think it makes Jackson quite relatable. But that's not why I love him. He is relatable, sure. But I mean, I could just watch you. I could watch you eviscerate people all day. They should do a supercut of that and just air that, because I would watch that a lot. It's very satisfying. Like, if it's satisfying for me, it's got to be satisfying for you to do it. Surely.
to be in a room and give someone, yeah,
Curry. Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, it's terribly. Look, it's great fun to play. Yeah, when you get the scripts and you've got a good insult, then you think, oh, well, can't wait to swing that one at Jack Loud. Yeah.
It's the beauty of it. And Jack is so, I've told him before that Jack is so good at being like perturbed, embarrassed, but then also like, you know, as you say, his ego takes over. He's so good at that character, River, and that dynamic between the two of you is gold. Like that, I think that's one of the centers of the whole show. So I totally get it. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then I think in the next one we have a bit more to do.
It's no secret you're widely revered and admired amongst other actors. Okay, it comes up all the time whenever I'm interviewing people. Who's your favorite actor? Gary Oldman. Who's your favorite actor? Gary Oldman. How does that sit with you? How do you navigate that public perception? Do you embrace it? Do you ignore it? Do you resist it? Like, what are your thoughts?
I think it's very flattering. It doesn't occupy my thought process a lot, you know. But it's always nice to hear that someone says something nice about your work. I'm a big one for. If I run into someone and I like their work, or I like a performance, I'll say so. And I even will drop a note to people and write them how much I liked a performance or their work. I recently, less than a week ago, I dropped a note to Tom Hardy. And I said, I really like your work in Mobland. And I've written to different people over the years. I think it's a nice thing.